I have heard flat earthers say that the vacuum of space would suck the atmosphere away from the Earth, that you can't have a vacuum and a non-vacuum side by side without a solid barrier. Well, first of all, suction is not really a fundamental concept in physics. It's not really something. It's like darkness, it's actually the lack of something. Gas has an expansion force that it exerts uniformly on all surfaces that it touches. This is called pressure, and suction is the lower side of a difference in pressure. When you drink through a straw, it's actually the air pressure on the surrounding fluid that pushes it up into the bottom of the straw, not some inherent pulling force from your mouth. If the fluid wasn't under pressure, the straw wouldn't work. As flat earthers observe, a solid barrier can restrain the expanding force of gas. Technically, this happens by the normal force in the barrier, which opposes the expanding force. But any other type of force can oppose it just as well, like gravity. Although flat earthers don't believe in Newtonian gravity, they still believe that things fall, which is still a force applied downward to all matter, whether by a Newtonian equation or not, and whether downward is absolute or relative. If gas falls like all other matter, then its weight, though very, very slight, will compress it downward, creating a pressure gradient. Eventually, if you follow this gradient high enough, the pressure will get low enough to qualify by some definition of space. That is what the vacuum of space is. Some people seem to have some cartoonish idea that the atmosphere has a definable surface like the ocean, but this is not true. It's just a pressure gradient, and the boundary is completely subjective. The word vacuum refers to anything close to zero pressure, and the word space refers to the vacuum above the atmosphere. The atmosphere is prevented by its own weight from expanding upward to fill space. It's that simple. This actually has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. It could almost work on a flat Earth model. Flat earthers only attack it in hopes of discrediting astronomy and mainstream science in general. But their attack doesn't make any sense. When they talk about mainstream science, it's once again obvious that they have no idea what they're talking about.